Hello my friends and welcome back to Absurdia! Today we're going to be looking at the barren wasteland that is Karadorn. Karadorn is inspired by D&D's dark sun setting, but also a little bit of Mad Max, just, of course, with magic. Most of Karadorn's surface is made up out of a rocky desert-like terrain. In some regions, even the air they breathe is irradiated. Life is very difficult in Karadorn. And that's before you take into account that this is the country of slavers and raiders, with most of them taking up residence in the dreaded slave city of Dolkurath. Dolkurath would be the biggest city in all of Karadorn, and as such, its ruling class is pretty much the most powerful in all of the wasteland. It is well known that ending up in Dolkurath in chains, it's one of the worst fates imaginable. So yeah, it goes without saying, don't go to Dolkurath. So where do you go in Karadorn if you can't go to Dolkurath? Well, if you manage to escape, you could try heading for the Cutthroat Canyons. But then you gotta worry about the bandits, the raiders, the cutthroats. So maybe instead you decide to go to Terakan. And in a pinch, yeah, this might be your best case for survival, but you still have a 50-50 chance of getting, killed by the Rockanasi that live here. They don't really like visitors. So what, should you just head to the ruins of Kreshkadur? I mean, you can, it's a ruin. Kreshkadur, of course, used to be the ancestral home of the Githyanki. But after a great calamity, which I can explain in another video if anybody cares, the proud Githyanki unfortunately had to abandon their home, and, well, its people has never been more divided. A lot of them found themselves in Dolkurath. Others had to join bandit gangs in order to stay alive. But this is something that I would actually like to cover a bit more in, well, I'll tell you guys at the end. Heading away from Kreshkadur, you might be tempted to check up on the town of Guts. And this is why you shouldn't. Orcs! Yeah, just like a massive city of feral orcs. And I mean, while we're on the topic, like Goblin Town, pretty self-explanatory. One region you should probably just avoid would be the Great Crater. Legend says that it was the site of a ferocious and devastating battle. A massive conflict that was so great that it left the area filled with radiation and even made some of the mountains start floating in the air from pure impact. So where to next? Well, honestly, your best bet might just be to try and get out and get through to Svetorik and Eldavik. Or if you can, make your way through Sigrid's passage into Eldoria. Sigrid, of course, being the god of travelers. And so it is believed that any traveler that passes underneath his colossus into Karadorn will be blessed by the Lord of Travelers. You need the blessing of the god of journeys if you're gonna go into an area just fraught with bandits. But let's say you can't make it through, and you absolutely need to make up camp in Karadorn. Well, then I'd say safest place would be Deep Delve, the proud mining kingdom of the dwarves. Very seclusionist as of late, admittedly, but in an uncivilized land, this is the best you're gonna get. At least these guys will actually try to communicate with you before telling you to fuck off, instead of just chucking a spear at you. So that's it for Dolkurath. Again, just an overview video, and there's a lot more to cover, but another time. As for what I said I was going to tell you guys at the end of the video, well, I thought a little bit, what other series can I make? And, well, obviously, I'm going to make a video about my own D&D characters. Hell, I'm gonna make a whole series, cause the way that I created this world, they are also ingrained in its history. So, while I'm telling you about its history, its lore, my characters that inhabit it, why not just tell you guys as well what the campaign is and how it's going? Cause I need to tell somebody about how great this is going. Stay tuned for the next video in which we will be covering the Barnacled Blade Archipelago. And remember, my friends,
Stay away from Karadorn.
and stay tuned